So I just wonder why did you want to be a reporter, and was there an instance in your life, I mean outside of the na mismo yung practicum or field work, na yung news came to you, for example, napadaan kayo tapos let's say may vehicular accident, ganun. So may ganun bang instance sa life niyo? Yun.
Assalamualaikum. Ako po si Miss Manal from Cotabato. Yes, yung isang instance na kumbaga naging importante sa akin na bakit gusto kong pumasok sa isang platform na ganito is yung una, yung sa nangyaring plebiscite sa amin sa Bangsamoro region. Kumbaga, kulang kasi yung access ng mga tao sa plebiscite sa canvassing unit. And at that time, kumbaga with my phone, with the internet connection na din at the same time, yung access na makapasok doon sa canvassing unit. Kumbaga, nagamit ko yung phone na yun para mag-live stream at the same time, makita ng mga ibang Bangsamoro outside doon sa canvassing unit kung ano talaga yung nangyayari. Kasi kumbaga, with that instance, naging accessible yung information, mas naging interactive yung mga tao. For example, naging aware sila na bakit ganito yung counting, bakit parang nag-question yung tao, and yun yung maganda. Kumbaga, nabibigyan natin sila ng chance na malaman directly yung information. And with this platform, kumbaga mas mararamdaman natin o mararamdaman ng lahat na yung storya na yun is hindi lang para dun sa mga may access lang dun sa information, kundi para sa atin lahat. So yun yung use nung ganitong platform, and that would be all. Thank you.
Thank you. Biglang boom, gusto ko maging journalist. Ako pala si Anthony, by the way. Reporter na rin ako before, pero sa ibang platform. I just remember, yung mother ko kasi meron siyang tindahan sa may palengke namin. At dun sa harap ng store ng mother ko, merong tindahan ng tinapa. At ang tinapa, ano pang balot sa kanya? Dyaryo. So doon ako natutong magbasa ng dyaryo. Doon ko naging favorite yung, Philippine Daily Inquirer. So naging reporter ako ng online platform nila, and na-hone yung skills ko through campus journalism. And meron tayong isa nasa campus journalist din dito. So malaking bagay yun. Gusto ko maging journalist kasi gusto ko bigyan ng linaw yung mga nangyayari sa bayan natin. Yun lang po.
Muna akong natisod na storya na nag-trigger sa akin para maging journalist. Pero dati na akong journalist, pero siguro yung matatanong sa akin bakit ko nag-decide na bumalik at mag-try dito sa Stanford Booth. So tingin ko po kasi ako personally, I'm bisexual, so I want na ma-inspire din para magkaroon ng representation po sa media. Usually, LGBT people are stereotyped as comedians, parang they're not aware din na meron din naman mga LGBT people na concerned sa mga social issues. So, posible rin na gusto ko rin ma-destigmatize yung mga issues like HIV and ma-bring into light yung mga issues like gender discrimination.
Marawi City po, as Mariam Labao. Dagdag ko lang po doon sa sinabi ni Manal na we are in the southern part of the Philippines, and ako din po, isa din po akong aktivista. Ang dami kong reklamo sa gobyerno, ang dami kong sometimes ang dami kong kino-question sa government, bakit ganon, bias, hindi siya naririnig, no? So ngayon nagkaroon ako ng chance na ikwento kung ano man yung mga positive image ng Muslim community in the South, and we are now looking forward na matanggap nyo kung sino man yung mga tao sa Bangsamoro, makilala nyo kami ng todo through not only in the national or mainstream community, but in the global scale, na makilala niyo ang Bangsamoro as we now in the new Bangsamoro government that we are tracking right now. So thank you so much.
Ano po yung magiging connection po ninyo with the mga field reporters po? Or naging part din po ba kayo, pati additional din po yung sa selection process po dun sa mga applicant, kasama rin po ba kayong pumili?
No, we were not. Well, I wasn't part.
I was there.
Yeah. May training, may nag-undergo rin sila ng training, which, to be honest, nakakaingit kasi ang dami nilang mga stellar journalists who were very generous with their time and shared different skills that you need to become a effective reporter. So, andyan si Ma'am Jessica Soho, si Sir Howie Severino, even people who are behind the camera giving their tips on how to make these stories. But in the actual selection of the reporters, wala kaming say doon. At least wala akong say. I can't speak for Richard, baka meron kang secret and then ballot or something. But I just have to say that it was a very strong field. It was a very strong field of reporters. I think we received how many roughly, Sir Brian? 150 submissions, and you can imagine it was hard for us to pick the 10 best reporters for this program. So we're very happy to work with these. I hesitate to say young reporters kasi sige na nga. Young reporters, young but not naive and very skillful. And I mean, more than any other program, I think the lines are blurred between people who are so-called anchors and the people in the field because the roles should be interchangeable.
In terms of the selection of, I think the final 15, if I'm not mistaken, and I tried to drop by some of their talks during the one with Howie, and I was also very jealous, like what about us? We're not getting that kind of training. No, I was really inspired because when this idea came up and Nessa said, you want to do anchoring, etc. And I was like, I'm literally all over the place, right? I mean, last year, half of the year I was around the world. And I was not really sure what I wanted to do, like what am I going to bring here into this show, what's going to happen. And I and Atom kind of bumped into each other in the past, but we didn't know each other very much. And Joyce, I got to know her only later on. But at this, I had a chance to go through the applications. And I was like really inspired. I was touched. I'm a teacher by heart. I've been teaching in university. So when I was listening to how much they were interested to bring like a human story into mainstream online discussion, right? It was really inspiring to us. And this is really the creme de la creme, the best of the best from a very competitive field, right? And just a while ago, I'm not going to spill too many confidential information, but a while ago we were talking how we can work as a team, right? Because usually how it works, it seems in these countries that everyone is a star in their own, and they just come together every other month and then they just go together and then they go their own ways. I hope that we also build the kind of a kind of a teamwork here, right? From now on, palang, we're thinking how to make this show really different because this is going to be hopefully the gold standard, not only for the Philippines, but for the region, right? Because this is a YouTube also supported project. And you see Asia is in a very difficult spot right now when it comes to press freedom. And Asia is also where a lot of social media craziness is happening, right? Whether it's Indonesia, fake news, whether it's Philippines, among others. So we're in a very tough battle here. That's why the responsibility is also very much on us to break the barriers and do something new. And I'm really confident in the team, not only in Atom and Joyce, but I think that our reporters are doing a fantastic job. And I hope that we'll do more synchronization in terms of what are the themes you want to cover. And we were even thinking that maybe outside our own 15 minutes in terms of online show, we can do also supplementary and corollary kind of productions to kind of build on things that we couldn't say in 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes. So my behind the scenes director's cut, things like that also, that you should look forward to. Thank you very much.
Different walks of life. So, ibig sabihin ba nito, for example, may mga from Maranao. So, yung topic lang ba na i-cover ninyo pag nagre-report kayo is dedicated lang doon kung saan kayo nanggaling or kung ano yung pinoportray niyo. For example, sa lifestyle ka lang ba, ganun, or pwede mag-interchange. Kung tuturo ako, sorry. Sige po, ito ang kinanswer.
But yung understanding ko po is, halimbawa, ako po ay galing Marawi, but not only limited to Marawi stories, but along northern Mindanao and other nearby provinces and regions. Depende po yun sa budget na meron tayo sa Stanford Road, but yun po yung commitment namin. We want to broadcast or we want to share stories, yung mga magagandang storya po na kapaki-pakinabang po sa buong Pilipinas po. So that's all.
Gen Z. So, ayun po. Basically, yung mga news story na gagawin ko po ay more of relating to the Gen Z sa generation ko. So, we can attract more viewers sa newer generation kasi we are constantly evolving. So, we need to get more viewers. And I think this is a way to show that the youth is actually active in nation building and stuff like that. So, yeah, but I'll not just focus on student-based stories, but stuff that affects the youth in general and how it connects to the youth.
For example, dati sila Ruth Cabal, okay na ako dito. Tapos kayo si Sir G.T. na tumatakbo sa senator, sorry. So yung mga young reporters ba natin, definitely, dito rin ba tayo kukuha ng mga future reporters na pwedeng kunin ni GMA News?
Yes, I don't think I can answer that question. Although I would say that obviously it would be a waste of talent kung hindi ma-maximize yung storytelling skills ng new generation of reporters. I always say that even though we are separated by X number of years in terms of experience, once you make your story, it's a level playing field. Any one of us can produce a good story, and even more quote unquote senior reporters and journalists can be susceptible to bad storytelling or lazy journalism. So I hope that with the advent of digital journalism, which we are basically getting into, Stand for Truth, the platforms become bigger and bigger so that more people can actually share their story. Kasi medyo crowded na rin sa television, let's admit it, parang we don't have a lot of room for news and public affairs programming. It's not just true for this organization, that's across different platforms. Pero yung online, parang ano pa yan it's a very vast and evolving landscape. And anyone can upload their content. So, mas mahirap na mapansin, pero mas democratized kasi kahit na sino pwede gumawa ng storya. So, yun yung maganda doon, yun yung potential gusto namin natin.
Overlap itong show na to with the election season, right? But we don't want this to be just a seasonal thing. So I think the more medium-term focus or the kind of long-term focus we have is hopefully to make this much more permanent, right? And show to the rest of perhaps the business model that this kind of things can actually work, right? A kind of millennial savvy, at the same time substantive, but also kind of cool and appealing kind of production, right? So we're really at the cutting edge here. So hopefully we don't cut ourselves too much, and we'll be able to extend this beyond just a single season or cycle.
This is a 15-minute program. Can you walk us through with the format? Kung kasi pwede ba yung parang isang team lang ba siya for each episode tapos doon magre-revolve yung bawat segments? How is it different from the regular news program or a news magazine program? Thank you.
Honestly, the format is evolving. We are also learning as we go along. Guiding principles ng namin is we wanted to be fresh. We wanted to be different from what we usually see on television. We want to take full advantage of the digital landscape or that kind of platform because it's a little bit different, even though it's also visual. The way we consume online news and information is a little bit different. But going back to the meat of your question, the format, unang-una, it will be a daily show which is produced every day, which will be basically following news events as they happen daily. So it is a newscast, but it can also be considered a daily digest of the biggest things happening today. Like for people on the go, what do you need to know in 15 minutes? What happened today? What are the biggest stories? But more than the information, we provide the tools for critical analysis. So that's where Richard comes in. He provides context, additional information so that hindi lang natin alam yung XYZ ng balita na who, what, when, where. Parang we get into like a deeper understanding of the news. Although again, 15 minutes is it's both long and short depending on how you look at it. Parang it's short in the sense na maraming nangyayari sa mundo, it's impossible to compress in 15 minutes. But it's long in the sense that 15 minutes online is a long time. Pag nanonood tayo ng video sa Facebook or YouTube, 10 seconds, 30 seconds. So to hold someone's attention for 15 minutes, that's already a big deal. And then beyond that, we also want to tap into other important aspects of our life online, which have to do with culture, which have to do with lifestyle, and getting inspired, and finding out what's going on in the Filipino music scene. So hopefully we can all bring that together into one coherent platform, so that it's kind of like a one-stop shop for everything that you need to know today.
Ang dami-dami mo nang ginagawa. You have your own show. I mean, you're doing a lot outside GMA also. Where are you finding time for this? And can you tell us like a little backgrounder on what's going to be in your part of the program?
Thank you for that question. And that's a constant question that I'm being asked. I honestly don't know where to find the time anymore. I usually spend my days where I would just get 3 or 4 hours of sleep because I do unang hirit every day.
In the car.
Yes, that's in the car, precisely. And sometimes my day would go, sorry, nagkwento na ako. Unang hirit, shoot in between an event at night, and then diretso na ako unang hirit ulit. But I think I also set certain rules with my management and with myself na this day I dedicate to shooting for my podcast and for the vlog and for social media. This day I set to just go to church and be with my family and with friends. And so I have personal block-offs talaga. And the holy grail of anything when it comes to multitasking is really finding the right schedule and knowing your priorities, I think. And luckily, and I'm so blessed to say that I have a great team behind me. As with Stand for Truth, if I may correlate, it's not a one-man team. You can't ever bring together a great big show or an innovation or a big dream with just one person being the front runner. Well, there will always be a face, syempre, diba? Pero it's really a teamwork. So that's how I find the time. And with this, actually, mahirap din yung segment ko kasi hindi ako in the studio. I'll be going to gigs. I go to events. So mamaya po, diretso ko after nitong vlog pa natin. Diretso ko sa Pampanga for the Hot Air Balloon Festival because some of the 3 bands that we will be featuring for Stand for Truth, they're playing there. And I did a shoot already. I have 4 of Spades. We went to the band rehearsals. I did Sud. I went to the gig in Sagiho. So medyo kagulo talaga siya. But as Adam said, there always has to be a balance with everything. We want to be able to talk about the things that are going on in culture and pop culture and music, which are also very interesting. So there.
Have an online newscast and have it on Facebook exclusively, but why YouTube and how was this vision? This is also an innovation fund recipient.
Yeah, I don't think we're the best person to ask for those details. I would refer you to Brian or Ma'am Randy.
How was this pitch?
Where did that all come from? And will this touch on, of course, for the duration of your program online, it's going to be 5 weeks. Is that right? 15 weeks. You're going to touch on election day, most probably. Will you be involved in any kind of reportage when that comes into picture?
Why Stand for Truth?
I think why Stand for Truth. I think this isn't an official explanation of how we came up with the title, but I guess I can just share why it resonates with me. I think it encapsulates what we want to do with the newscast, which is to try and push the boundaries in terms of how we consume information, that we're not stuck with just the bare details of what happened, but also we go that extra step, which to be honest should be automatic already, but nowadays it's not so automatic, meaning we don't really digest it, we don't really use our critical thinking to understand what that story means to us and for the larger public. So that's why it's Stand for Truth. Like, it's not just your typical newscast. I don't mean to kind of say that other newscasts are typical, but what I'm just trying to say is because of the analysis that we provide, because of the way we will structure the reports, hopefully, I'm not making any promises, obviously, but the point is that we produce something that millennials will find useful in navigating their world. Now, the second part is, what's the second question? If we want to become a newscast and we want to become sort of a daily digest, there's no way of escaping elections. So we will be tackling the elections. We will be making election stories. I'm part of the GMA News and Public Affairs team as a whole. So for sure there will be some assignments. But Stand for Truth as a program, I feel will definitely make these election stories because, I mean, why not? And yun naman yung pinag-uusapan eh. And everybody should be informed about the run-up to the elections and the actual result of the election. So for sure that will be part of what we will tackle.
Yeah. Well, in my capacity, of course, as the resident analyst, I'll be covering the election live, right? So just like previous elections, 2016 elections. But let me just make this very clear. I think the democratic well of discourse is getting increasingly poisoned, not only in the Philippines, but around the world. And that's why someone has to use the term, hold the line, right? And the thing is this, I think there's a big misunderstanding of what objectivity and neutrality means in the world of public affairs, or even punditry, right? So if person A says that it's raining outside, and the person B says that it's not raining outside, it's not the job of the journalist to just say, person X said that, and person Y said that. It's the job of the journalist to go outside there and look at the sky and says, oh, I'm sorry, actually it's raining, so person B doesn't make sense, right? So you have to make that stand by empirical verification of truth claims by two competing parties. So in that sense, we are the umpires of truth. And that's what we want to do in this show, that actually truth is something that we have to stand for. It takes an effort, and if we don't stand for that, the whole fabric of our politics and our democratic discourse could be poisoned and crumble into the pieces. That's why this show is important. We hope that this will not just be a kind of a seasonal event. And how I wish this happened earlier during the election period. And one of my biggest frustrations right now is that we're in one of the most important elections in generations, depending on the outcome of these elections, and ceteris paribus, the president will have supermajority, so you can completely change the constitution. That will have impact on the Philippines for generations to come. And yet, the COMELEC has not been able to organize a single debate between the two opposing parties. There has been no chance for the people to get to see basic facts and truth claims adjudicated by our future leaders or people who want to be our senators, for God's sake, right? And I think in that vacuum of adjudication of truth, it's important for us in the media, right, in the academy and thinkers to step in. And that's why this show is extremely important.
Yes. Please support us, this new endeavor of the News and Public Affairs of GMA. Stand for Truth will be premiering on April 15, that's a Monday at 8 p.m. on GMA News Online and the YouTube channel of GMA Public Affairs. So that's going to air Monday to Friday for 15 minutes. So please spare 15 minutes of your time to join us, and hopefully we'll provide something interesting for everyone.
Yeah, just so the whole speech I gave a while ago, I said, we need your help, right? We need to hold the line together, right? And there's no assurance this show will work. We'll do our best, but we cannot do this alone on our own, right? And at the end of the day, if we don't help each other in this, then you're going to leave the field to the not necessarily best people. I'll just put it there, all right? That's the pitch. Help. stand with us, stand for truth.
And more than anything, we just would like to thank you guys for coming here today. We know that you're very busy and there are a lot of things going on. So maraming salamat po for sparing us your time. And as both Atom and Richard said already, please do check out the show. We have put our hearts into this more than anything, and it's all with good intention. And we hope that through your social media platforms as well, you can support us standing for truth as you stand with us. So maraming salamat po ulit.